Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's just two movies.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name is Daniel King. Normally we'd be joined by Birdman, but he just flew into town, and boy, are his arms tired. So he so he couldn't make it. No, actually, my beautiful lady and I just got vaccinated, so we didn't know if we were gonna have side effects, and I didn't want to have flu-like symptoms and be like, hey, man, come on over to my house. Let's drink beer and watch movies, bruh. Mm-hmm. So we just didn't. We opted out for that. But
yeah, and my boobs were hurting, so.
Alicia's boobs hurt. And Alicia's going to be sitting in with us. Do you want me to use your last name? Or do you want me to just go with Alicia? Or do you not care?
I don't care. I literally posted on my Facebook. It has my life's work on it, so it doesn't matter. We're
joined by my beautiful girlfriend, Miss Alicia Bowen, who both of her brothers have been on the show, which you may recall if you've listened to those episodes.
That's the only reason they're on here.
Well, we're friends also. we're also friends. But Bird couldn't be here. That's the reason. Also, there is another reason. Tomorrow he couldn't come because tomorrow he's got to go explore an ancient Egyptian tomb, looking for some sacred scarab beetle. I'm not sure what he'll find.
I think he's looking for a bird bath.
Is it a bird bath?
I think it's a prehistoric bird bath.
An ornate, decorative, prehistoric, ancient Egyptian bird bath in a tomb. That's why he can't make it. So, if you are not familiar with the show, what we do here is we look at two movies. We look at one movie that at least one of us perceives as a good movie, and then we try to find another movie that has, something even vaguely in common with it. But we want to find a movie that's kind of revered as sort of a piece of shit. So we can compare and contrast the two. And also, I love trash cinema. Apologies if I'm coming across a little congested sounding. I've been having a sneezing fit for the last 10 hours now. I don't know what the deal is. It's like every 5 minutes I feel like I have to sneeze. And then 10% of the time, I actually do sneeze.
No.
And the rest of the time, my eyes water a bit.
You haven't sneezed one time since I came home from the grocery store.
I sneezed in the kitchen like 4 times in a row while you were in the.
Oh, I guess I was in a zone. I didn't even notice.
I do a bit of sneezing.
Since you've said it, I don't remember seeing you sneeze once. But anyway.
So yeah, we're gonna look at two movies. Today is no exception. We are talking about Love and Monsters, which is an October 2020 release. This is actually the newest movie we've ever done on the show. Usually we'll do something, like one of my main goals of this show was always like, you're sitting at home with your old lady and you go, oh, I can't think of anything to watch. You can just flip through our catalog of episodes and go, just pick one of these. Just pick one of these good movies.
Once you have a bunch of them done.
Yeah. Once we've been doing it for like a year, that'll be
Yeah. The Love and Monsters, though, we bought it.
We did buy it. We bought it.
It was pretty good.
Well, I bought it deliberately, but also accidentally at the same time. It was in the $5 movie bin, and I was like, "This is."
We were playing a game.
That can't be right.
To pick a $5 movie, he brings home a $20 movie.
Yeah.
In a story, but
that's how I do.
Yeah, but the Love and Monsters also. One of the things I found was that because it started being recorded in 2012, the name of it was Monster Problems, which I thought was a weird.
I think I like Love and Monsters better.
Well, they changed it like 2 months before
releasing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they had it for like 8 years as Monster Problems.
That is a long time working title for a film. That's crazy.
I know, and I really didn't find too much of why they just kind of stopped. I didn't see if it was budget. There really wasn't too much information out there, but I just thought that was weird that it went so long until because they didn't even, it was weird. I don't know.
So this is directed by a Mr. Michael Matthews, written by a Russell T. Davis. I would go over other stuff that they've done, but I didn't write it down. Had a budget of $30 million and took in $1.1 million in the box office, probably because it came out in a pandemic. Although it lost a fuck ton of money, roughly $28.9 million it lost.
Maybe not. Maybe they'll re-release it or try to release it.
I hope
like
so.
Like the drive-ins and stuff around us have been doing that kind of stuff, so maybe.
Yeah.
Because we rented it and bought it, so hopefully.
This movie's fantastic. Certified Rotten. It's got 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7 out of 10 on IMDb, and an 8.0 on Metacritic. Stars A. Dylan O'Brien as Joel,
I don't remember her last
Jessica
name.
Henwick as Amy, Ariana Greenblatt as Minnow, and Michael Rooker as Clyde. Also has Dan Ewing as Cap, or the Captain. But he's only in it for like 4 minutes of screen time.
He looked familiar to me, but
he looks like a Hemsworth.
Something maybe. He kind of reminds me of the guy who plays in The Boys.
Oh,
like if he had a little bit longer curly hair, like even the personality, he kind of reminds me.
You talking about Butcher?
No, not Captain America guy. The guy, what's his name?
Oh God, Homelander.
Yeah, Homelander. He kind of reminds me of him. Well, Homelander, but he just kind of reminds me of his character in this movie. So, but he kind of also resembled him a little bit. So maybe that's what I was trying. Like, maybe I was getting just his appearance confusing by that.
Anthony Starr, that's his name, the guy that plays Homelander. Which, by the way, fun tidbit, he said he would play Homelander for another 20 years if he could get away with it.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yeah, because he's a freak.
As long
because he's like
right.
a super freak, just fucking beaten off in front of
just on top of a skyscraper, beaten off. He's like, I can do whatever I want. You fucking sicko.
Yeah, I mean, I feel free too and play that role, just fucking beat off and on top of the, top of the world.
yeah, I guess. Why wouldn't you just like fly and jerk off at the same time?
And come everywhere so that you could at least be like, I come to all over because I'm Skylander.
Yeah. No, I fucking love that show though. That's probably one of my favorite shows I've seen in several years.
It was pretty good. I'm sorry it took such a long time to rewatch it, but
that's okay.
I just finish watching it. I get in a weird
kind of got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I really want to go back and
if we would have just kept binging it, I would have definitely. I want
to go back and watch Watchmen on HBO again. That series we watched like 2 or 3 episodes of it. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
I'm also reading the book still, and as you know, it takes me 3 years to read one book. So I really want to finish the book first. It's a comic book, so it should only take me about 1.5 years to finish it. So anyway, let's talk about this movie. Elevator pitch for the movie Love and Monsters is about a guy who's a big pussy. His name is Joel. Joel has 0 survival skills.
He's so sweet and cute, though.
He's very sweet and cute, though.
He's very sweet and cute.
He was separated from his girlfriend when this big cataclysm happened.
Monster apocalypse.
All the cold-blooded animals on Earth have, like, mutated into monsters. So, like, insects, amphibians, reptiles...
Yeah, bugs. Just regular.
Yeah, just bugs. That's the gist. He's separated from his girlfriend by like 85 miles, and he fixes a ham radio.
He's tired of being a pussy is what he's tired of being.
He is tired of being a pussy.
And he's tired of cooking.
He's tired of being a pussy.
He's tired of cooking for his crew.
He's tired of being a pussy. He's
not being able to stand up for himself.
Not getting no pussy. So he finally finds his girlfriend on the radio and gets in contact with her community, and he decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go get her.
Because everyone laughs at him.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, Joel, you're so ridiculous. You're not. They're just like,
Joel, you going to make me say it, Joel? You can't handle it, man. All right. So first impressions. What do you think about this? I mean, I know that you like it, but
I do like it a lot.
More specifically, what do you like about it?
My favorite part is probably the monsters.
Yeah.
Because it's really, yes, it says Love and Monsters, but it's really the love story part of it.
It's less love,
is
more
probably
monsters.
like a 10% part of it.
Yeah, it's less love, more monsters.
And the monsters look really good.
They fucking look pretty
like the
awesome.
frog, that thing, I would have a blown up picture of that. That is a cool looking monster frog.
I like the way that they're not shy about showing off their CGI monsters.
And also, you know me, I'm not like super monster, what are they called? Monster Mania movies. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love
like,
a creature
I do
feature. Mm-hmm.
like creature features. I do like some of them. Most of the time, I roll my eyes at you, and I'm like, whatever. Just watch it yourself.
Croczilla.
Right. I did watch that one with you.
That movie sucked.
But
RoboCroc was better.
right, but I really did enjoy the monsters because it wasn't like all day, every day, the whole entire movie, which, like it said, there's, 5 different genres in this film. So it was easily.
They're not shy about it, though.
No, like,
You know?
right, exactly. But there's only a few, so it's not like you have to, so it's not like just like Godzilla, there's one monster. So there's a few that you can be like, oh, well, that's
that one
pretty
looks
cool. That's cool.
Oh, that's
yeah,
different.
they're all just.
Yeah.
They're neat, and they have different things, and there's some that are good, and some that are evil, and some that are just like, what am I doing here?
I'm a monster. See you later.
So I really did like it, and I liked the just the story in general. Like, it was a little different than most, especially in 2020.
Yeah.
It was like relieving.
It's refreshing.
It was a refreshing movie to watch.
Yeah,
I should say, because
it's a good palate cleanser.
Right. Yeah, especially for the end. Because when did we... So, yeah, we rented the movie, and it's always... Last year was always hit or miss, definitely for movies.
Yeah.
A lot of misses all year long.
A lot of misses.
And it was just, really refreshing to watch a really good, decent, fun movie that was different.
Yeah.
It wasn't... You've seen it before, but not really. So it's like you felt like you seen it, and then you haven't seen it, and then you felt like you seen something like it, and then you hadn't. So
it's got a real kind of a Zombieland feel to it, but a little less neurotic and a little easier.
Right. Yeah,
a little
more upbeat, more like
it's a little more upbeat. It's a little cheekier.
Yeah, a little cheeky. Well, and they're also because they're younger too, and it's more of like what. So they're in their mid-20s.
Right.
Instead of
it does start out feeling like it's really directly aimed at the young adult crowd, and then that does fade away pretty quickly, like right after the intro, and it feels like
for sure.
It's like it's still full of like all these quirky characters, but it
gets serious.
It's a little more serious. It's a little gritty, and then it's still light and breezy at the same time. I imagine that's just attributed to good writing.
Right. I don't know who even wrote it or anything.
Oh, that would be Russell T. Davis.
Russell T. Davis. Okay, never heard of him.
See what else he's done.
But he did a good job because he also made it into almost like 20-minute segments of the movie too. So it flowed really nice. It just. It was like, okay, 20 minutes of figuring out what the movie, 20 minutes of them in the bunker, 20 minutes of this, 20. So it was just like a really consistent, like, it wasn't always like dragging because they could have made the movie all in the bunker and them trying to go around and, but they didn't. He goes on a journey.
Looks like the main thing that Russell T. Davis is attributed to is he did a lot of, he wrote a lot of episodes for Doctor Who.
Yeah, because actually there's an episode named Love and Monsters in Doctor Who.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did see that.
I could see that. Yeah. And this is like the David Tennant era of Doctor Who.
Yeah, I did see that.
Which I enjoyed quite a bit.
I guess that's why it popped up for Doctor Who, because...
I like Doctor Who. I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm like a super fan. I certainly haven't seen all of them.
Honestly...
But I like David Tennant. I like monsters, so I watched some Doctor Who. Yeah, it's just fine. It's just a fine TV show.
Yeah, I never watched it. Well, maybe like an episode here or there, but
yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of fun, like practical effects, and every week's like a new adventure. There are a lot of really.
So it's like a reality show.
No, it's like Doctor Who's an alien.
Okay,
he's like a Time Lord, and then he has a magic phone box that's like bigger on the inside. And he can travel through like kind of like Rick and Morty. He can go to like different dimensions and different times.
Like Bill and Ted.
Kind of like Bill and Ted. Yeah, like the phone booth. It's pretty much the same thing. But anyway, back to Love and Monsters. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. If you were going to rate it, now I know that you've never been on the show, but you have listened to the show, so you're no stranger
to thumbs.
I
do know thumbs. And I really like it.
How many thumbs would you sensually suck upon in praise of this movie?
Suck on?
Out of
suck
10.
On them?
Out of 10 thumbs.
out of 10 thumbs that I sucked on, I'm going to give it 9 and a quarter. 9 and a nub.
9 and a nub?
Yep.
That's
9 and a nub.
That's quite a stirring endorsement. You really like this movie.
I do, and that's because I already watched it like 3 or 4 times.
What's an example?
You know,
of
it was like whenever we decided to do this, it was kind of like, it wasn't last minute, but it was pretty last minute. And then we didn't even watch it again like you normally do and take notes before the movie. And it just, I don't know. It's one of those movies I can keep watching. So I'm just going to give it a good rating.
Okay.
Because I'm not a movie buff. I'm not you. I'm not, I don't know. Like my ratings are going to be, can I watch it again and again? It's because it's a good, it flows. It's a good structure. The cast is great. It's not too much. It's not too little. You know, you still get like these sci-fi, because I'm not big in sci-fi. Maybe that's why too. It's because like sci-fi is not my favorite cup of tea.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
for it to be a fun sci-fi that's not like rom-com or something, you know, it's, you know, monster movie.
Yeah.
If you're going to say if I give any monster movies a 10, never.
Is this your favorite? This is your favorite monster movie?
Maybe that's why too. Because seriously, out of every other monster movie I ever watched, I just am. I'm going to give them, because honestly, any movie I would probably pick for this show would probably be a 9 or above, just because it makes me feel good. Number 1. Mm-hmm. It's fun. Number 2. It looks good. And I can follow it. It's breezy. The story's good. It's fine. So that's it. Like, I'm not like going deep diving into it. I'm not like a movie critic type of person who's going to give it.
Sure.
You know,
well, and that's the great thing of
this. So guess what? A lot of the movies I might give them 9 or above, but that's only because the way I rate a movie is not based on every little teeny tiny detail they did wrong or something I didn't like about it. Because you know, the only thing I might not have liked about it was. Well, that's what's girl.
That's what's great. That's what's great about this show is we're not doing real highbrow reviews. If I see a thing that I like,
you guys kind of do, but you guys nitpick it pretty hard
on the bad movie,
just in general,
or like the things. Like, well, when you've got something that's like so good, and I find like one little glaring thing that just kind of irks me about it.
I don't find those things normally.
I do have to point it out though, or every good movie would be a perfect movie for me.
Well, this is the perfect movie, like one of the perfect movies for you to just
it is
sit
really
and enjoy. You can watch it with your family.
Good.
You know, it's a little quirky. It's got some funny bits. You know, Michael Rooker does a really good job. Even Minnow, she's a little hilarious girl thrown in there because she's a little smart ass little
Ariana Greenblatt.
Yeah, they call her Minnow. You know,
big son of a bitch,
young Gamora. So
Oh yeah, that was a fun fact you told me about. Like the Ariana Greenblatt plays,
which that could be why they did so good together too.
Yeah, she plays young Gamora in the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Guardians of the Galaxy. So, and then obviously Michael Rooker's Yondu. So. They probably.
I didn't even think about that.
So they worked well together. So they're their own team in this movie. So
probably my favorite weapon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Though,
and that's another because there's not
Yondu's arrow.
And that's another reason I would probably give it the decent thumbs is because the biggest name is Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
And the whole thing.
Yeah, it really is.
And for them to make it not about him.
Yeah. Dylan O'Brien and Jessica Henwick get more screen time than anybody, I think. And never heard of either of them. They're both great.
Exactly. So for being never heard, kind of like rented it because it's a movie in 2020 to rent.
Yeah, it looked like a fun. It looked like a fun.
And
rom-com.
now we own it. For us to own it, I think it probably deserves at least 9 thumbs. like that anyway to rewatch.
Really, I rented it because I thought it looked like a fun rom-com that might have a cool monster in it. Bought it because it's a fun ass rom-com and it has tons of badass looking monsters in it.
Right.
Yeah, it really does. The monsters look awesome. I mean, they're not shy about showing them off, which is fucking that shit's a pet peeve of mine. Like when I sit down to watch Godzilla and Godzilla has 4.5 minutes of screen time. No, not okay.
Well, that's the thing. They give each monster to its own appropriate amount of time to be seen and to learn about, and then he obviously documents it too in his book. So that's also nice. So then you do have all these 6 you see 6 monsters maybe, not like a shit like that. Well, no, because you do see the extra little big bugs and things, but ones that you 4 or 6 monsters you actually see, they give them an appropriate amount of time to become part of the story even.
Yeah.
Because they are, they're different. They are.
Sure. Yeah, so Joel's a pussy. It's been 7 years. He's tired of being a pussy, tired of not getting no pussy. He's going to go find his old lady's camp. It's 80-something miles away, and everybody's like, man, sucks. It's the last time we're going to see you, Joel. Be careful out there.
Right. I missed your mastacholi or whatever. Goulash or what is it?
Minestrone.
Minestrone, yeah.
He makes the minestrone.
Well, why do you want me to stay? You make a mean minestrone.
Right. He does take a really classic hero's journey with all the fixins. Only Obi-Wan Kenobi is Michael Rooker, which is, arguably a much better choice.
Yeah, he was a great pick. That was perfect.
Yeah, he
really was perfect.
He's amazing casting. Mm-hmm. So Joel takes off. Not long before, he encounters a thing that's about to kill him. There's this giant frog monster. It looks fucking awesome. Dog comes out of nowhere. Super cute fucking dog.
Mm-hmm.
Attacks the frog thing.
His name's Boy.
The dog's name is Boy in the movie. Attacks the frog, so effectively saving Joel's life.
Yeah, because he's like, bite him, like, get him.
Yeah.
Like,
so now Joel and Boy are traveling companions to, just make it the abridged version.
Right, because they're both alone, too.
Yeah, they are both alone. So it's better to be alone together, I guess.
Right.
And then by happenstance, Joel falls into a pit. He's about to die. Michael Rooker saves his ass. And Minnow, again played by Ariana Greenblatt, she's with Michael Rooker.
Yeah.
And this is where it's like...
she's his little badass.
Yeah. He meets... they're his mentor.
Right.
They mentor him and like, man, you don't know fucking dick. You're going to get yourself killed out here. You're like, you ever heard of a fool's errand? He's like, oh, I'm a fool because I believe in love. And he's like, no, you're a fool because you're out here alone. You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right. Nothing, literally.
Yeah. You have zero fucking survival
skills. You've been out here for 10 minutes and you fell in a death trap.
You can't shoot. You suck.
Because he would have died, obviously, if they would never came. But, that's why it's a movie.
And this is, I think, one of the parts that really reminds me of Zombieland is the rules, because Michael Rooker has rules for survival.
What are they called?
They're
not rules.
They're less hand-fisted in there. He's like, rule 1, always survey from high ground. Rule 2, not both.
Yeah,
so every time
you
they
either
stop,
get a good night's rest or you get to eat.
You get a hot meal or a good night's sleep, not both.
Right.
So anyway, they do the a little montage about them traveling together, and they run into, various monsters along the way, and there's a thing called a boulder snail, and it's fucking just
adorable.
It's cool looking, yeah. It is adorable, but it's also kind of threatening at the same time.
Because it's humongous. It's the size of a fucking bus.
It roars.
Half of a bus.
It roars at him and shit. It's
right.
Like,
right.
or whatever noise snails make.
Right. Well, it saves them, too, in the movie, because... they're getting tracked by, what is that called?
I don't remember what they call it. It's a big son of a bitch. I remember that.
I know. That was one thing. I kept trying to find names of the monsters.
Chumber?
Chumber?
Maybe they call it a chumber? I feel like most of the monster names are just like, fucking call it
whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, boulder snail. Okay, good.
It doesn't matter, but...
Yeah, but the boulder snail saves his life. That's all day. He's like, he's going to plaster your... What's he say? He's going to plaster your scent all over this mountain or whatever.
Old Chumber's not going to know which way to go. And they're like, thank you, Mr. Boulder Snail. He's like, yeah, they're sensitive. God, tell them thank you. They're sensitive. They will crush your ass in a second. Man, just Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker is a great cast for damn near everything.
That little girl, Ariana Greenblatt. Is it Blatt?
Greenblatt.
Mm-hmm. She's going to be in a lot of shit.
Yeah,
she's already been in Guardians of the Galaxy. This is a great movie. She does a great job.
Yep.
Because she's not even, obviously, a star. She's going to star in some shit, and she's going to be a badass, is what she's going to be.
Yeah, I think so.
And she's funny. She's a funny little girl. And she works well with Michael Rooker.
She's got a lot of attitude.
Yeah, she got that sass, and she does well with it. But, little, so she'll definitely. But
yeah, she sure will. So, I mean, after a certain point, they get to where Michael Rooker and Minnow, they're like, oh, we're going up to the mountains or whatever. And he's like, well, I'm going to find my girlfriend. So they part ways.
Yeah, but the little girl wants him to stay. Minnow's like,
yeah, she's like kind of crushing on him, I think.
He's like, your girlfriend's not going to like you anyway. She don't know you. Breaking his balls and just.
Joel, you're such a pussy. She's not going to be into that. They separate, and Joel's night comes, and Joel's like taking shelter or whatever. and he finds one of these old Mavis robots that like boots itself up and starts talking to him.
It was saving its last bit of power for something, anybody.
Yeah,
it could have been Boy. It probably would have talked to Boy for the next 30 minutes.
Could have been.
You know?
The whole scene with the Mavis robot, it's so like charming and funny and silly, and I like it a lot. The robot looks cool.
It does,
but it
and
doesn't
not overly cool. It just like
it looks like something if like Tesla was going to start making like homemade robots.
Right.
It looks
which
like,
I'm sure they are,
like it might.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like funny. It has its own little personality. You know what you would expect.
It is really expressive for only having eyes.
It's really expressive for being almost dead. Also, like it.
Yeah.
She knows she's about to die, or he or it. You know. But it still wants to give to whoever it came upon. So, you know. Yeah. Because it could have turned for the worse or something weird, but it didn't.
You never know.
It just made it like a heartfelt moment, but then funny. You know, cute little funny because it's, you know, it's a robot.
You do see one of the Mavis robots at the beginning of the movie.
They have one in the bunker.
They have, because Joel's got one in his bunker, but it's dead. He's like pretty sure all of them are dead because it's been 7 years and nobody's going to recharge them. But he does come across the one just kind of out in the wild.
Well, that's like in the beginning, too, when he leaves the bunker, he takes the radio. He's like, I probably won't need this. Well, I'm going to fucking take it anyway because you never know.
Right.
And that's what Mavis does for him. Shows him his family, powers his radio so he can get a hold of Amy, you know, plays him, what song do you want to play?
Oh, yeah.
You know, so.
And then, because there's a lot of score in this movie, but there's like almost no soundtrack. Except Stand By Me.
Was there like 3 songs in the whole movie? There's maybe, because in the last bit, there's a song I remember.
Yeah, they score it. Like there's a dramatic score, but as far as the soundtrack,
yeah, I don't know.
I think it's just
and maybe that's why too, because some movies, like you watch a movie and it's just has to have a soundtrack the whole movie. Okay.
Yeah, it's one thing Bird said about No Country for Birdmen. No soundtrack. No soundtrack, no score. He's
I haven't really
did you
watched
notice? I was like, fuck, I didn't notice at all. I guess that's why it's so intense.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe that's why, because it's more of like, because a lot of hero's journey movies has a Lord of the Rings. There you go. Soundtrack.
Really heavy score, yeah.
Right. So maybe that could be another reason it's so appealing.
I have no idea. Man, it really is a shame that this came out in the pandemic because this would have made...
Well, they were going to put it out in February for theaters.
This would have made a ton of money.
It would have. Yeah. Hopefully they can get it... Because honestly, when they first open movie theaters back up, they might want to pick older movies. I'm getting pretty drunk.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. We'll have to...
I was really nervous, and I was like, I don't know. I will what do you call it?
Totally common... But you don't
common side effect of doing your show.
You don't
getting drunk.
You don't seem nervous. That is a very common side effect of being on the show. So next day he's like still heading towards Amy's colony, and there's a tremor in this movie. It's not a graboid. I mean, from the movie Tremors.
Oh, I was like, what?
But it kind of is. Like
kinda.
It is a tremor.
It's way scarier than a tremor
by definition only. But yeah, I will say it is
way
scarier
scary.
Looking. It's got like a octopus.
Like even because Boy's like fuck.
Yeah,
like, it's like no thanks. And he's like, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, okay, your dog knows he saved you from eating a berry. He's like, put that shit down, even though he can't talk. You know?
Oh yeah.
But he saved your ass from eating a berry, and then you're like asking him what's wrong. He's like hiding and shivering in a little duck.
Oh, like, yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, again, just a testament to the monsters. They look fucking awesome in this. So
and they're not like so colorful. They're just like, even like,
well, they just look like bugs.
I know, and they're like moss covered because you can tell it's almost like they adapted to the environment over those 7 years too. So it's like there's moss on them, and there's you know,
well, a little bit of the fluff as to why all these monsters exist now. There was a giant asteroid coming for Earth.
I know, yeah. Well, there's a bunch of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think it was just one. Anyway, humanity united under one banner, and we shot a bunch of rockets at it. And then the chemical fallout from the rockets is what made all the monsters.
Right. They, yay, we did one thing, and then, well, shit, we made a bunch of freak monsters. So
the whole tremor scene is pretty great with the graboid type monster. Joel explodes it with a grenade, like throws a grenade into its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And gotta tell you, for a slow motion exploding worm scene.
Right, for not much an action movie.
God, it looks badass.
Right, because there's like really not much action other than him running away and the dog biting the frog. But yeah, no, it.
So by the property of
That's fun.
ducking out of the way of the explosion.
Well, yeah, but isn't the dog mad at him when that happens?
It's right after. He throws the grenade and like jumps into the water to avoid the explosion. He gets out of the water and he's fucking covered in leeches. So he pulls all the leeches off of him and he's like screaming at the dog. He's like, "You dumbass, you almost got us killed. What the fuck's the matter with you?"
Because he was hiding, but because he didn't want to get eaten by an underground monster.
Right, which I can relate to.
Right.
I also don't want to be eaten
Nobody
by an
wants to
underground
be.
monster. So he starts walking in the woods and the dog has run off and left him. And he's fucking tripping balls because those leeches are venomous, but they have some kind of psychedelic poison in them, I guess.
Right. Well, they're fucking radioactive or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's something
whatever
from.
the deal is.
They're all freaks. So if it's just a.
He is tripping balls, and he finds some flowers in the wild that Michael Rooker had mentioned to him that you get poisoned. These are, a good cure or whatever. So he's eating these flowers, and then fucking, here comes his dream woman, old Miss Amy, finds him, and she's like, "Joel, what are you doing out here, Joel?" So Joel's knocking on death's door. He's tripping his balls off. Amy finds him, takes him back to her camp or community or
Yeah, because it's not a bunker.
It's not
they
a
got
bunker.
Fucking
It's
badass.
It's like a
resort almost compared to it's
it is kind of like a beach resort.
Beachfront.
Yeah,
But it's
fucking
like
really
in
nice.
a.
And then in their community, it's just Amy and a bunch of old people,
She's there to help him.
which is hysterical. Like, because they're all old and kind of.
And maybe that's why she like believes that guy who
some
comes.
of them are kind of senile and shit. She's
Yeah.
probably at her fucking wit's end.
Well, I know, but maybe that's why she was so excited and believed the what's his name, Cap,
Yeah.
so much, but because
Intro.
he was young.
Intro, the captain and his two or three
Goons.
Yeah, his goons or whatever. So Cap is like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna load up all the supplies on the yacht. All you guys are gonna come with me, and we're gonna go find an island somewhere where this is not a problem." It's
Hang out on the yacht because you're in the ocean.
right. So it's just a ruse. Cap intends to steal all their supplies, poison them, and then have them killed by a giant crab monster
Right.
that him and his crew have harnessed to actually
Pull their boat.
be the engine of their
Right.
yacht, which is very clever. And the crab monster, it looks so fucking cool.
It does, but it's also real fucking sad
It is sad. It's got sad,
because
got
you know
sad-
by their eyes,
sad, creepy.
which we didn't mention
crab
earlier.
eyes.
That's one of the things Joel
Yeah.
gets taught is that you can tell if they're good or evil or
Mhm.
bad or whatever by their eyes when you look into the monster's eyes. So
Mhm.
you can see.
Also, another callback. This is all like good information he gets from Michael Rooker and from Dog, or Boy, excuse me.
Yeah, because
Boy, the
weirdly,
dog.
Boy teaches him a lot of things too.
Yeah, like to not eat those berries.
Exactly.
Then he sees those berries are what Cap is putting in his beer that he made.
to
so
party.
everybody's fucking partying and getting wasted, and then they're just gonna like pass out in a drug-induced coma. So he kind of catches wind of this, and long story short, there's a bit of a fight with the crab monster. Joel ultimately decides to free the crab monster, which then goes and destroys Cap and his crew on the yacht. So,
Well, yeah, because he's attached by like electric chains. The
Yeah,
crab is.
yeah.
So it's like they're controlling him with these electric chains. And Joel looks at him and is like,
which is
he's got those eyes. So
very minor plot hole. But one thing that I was like, how's that? So he's got
because it's in water.
he's got this super long chain that the captain has that he's got like a button to electrocute the crab with. They're like, haha, yeah, we use the crab for the engine. So where are you getting where's the electricity coming from? Yeah,
And that's the kind of thing that you
minor
pick up
plot
in a
hole.
movie. I don't because I'm like,
That's okay.
yeah, you're going to fucking electrocute a crab? Sure.
Yeah, no, and that's totally okay.
Like-
That's what this show's for. We're not fucking Siskel and Ebert. We're just I like movies. I've always liked movies.
that.
One of my favorite
I've known you
things to
for
do.
About 3 years. I know you.
3 years. One of my favorite things to do when I was a kid was we used to go to a video store. Now, kids, if you're out there listening to the show and you don't know what we're talking about,
Blockbuster?
there used to be a no. We had fucking.
I know.
We had classic video in the hood, dog. But we'd go to Classic Video and rent like 5 movies on the weekend, and then you go over to your friend's house and just fucking watch movies and eat popcorn.
Which is funny because it's called Redbox now, and we literally just rented 6 movies last weekend.
Yeah.
To do the same thing.
Yeah.
Too. So, like
every now and then, I just want to lay around all day and watch movies.
Well, they're closing all the movie stores. They just closed 2 down. The only 2 within 50 miles of here easily. But
if there's a Redbox near you, use it.
Rent it. Do it.
Please, so they don't go out of business. Because then I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. I live out in the middle of the woods.
I know. I don't want to stream everything because we don't have
the internet. Yeah, unless old Papa Elon wants to hit me up with that fucking Skynet shit he's got going on.
So then that also limits to how much we can even watch. So yeah, rent your red boxes.
So Joel saves the day. All hail Joel. And he decides he's gonna go back to his bunker. He's gonna get all his friends. And they are going to travel up to the mountains to try to find Michael Rooker and Minnow.
Right.
Because
he realizes he needs to go back. He came here for love, and he's like,
it was a little flat.
But I've been with these people for 7 years. I need to go back to them and tell them and save them. Right. Because they really care about him.
Right.
Even though they kind of, jab him. But
and that kind of wraps it up. If you're going to go 9 thumbs and a nub, I think I'm also going to go a firm 9. This is a really fun, breezy, easy to watch movie.
You forgot. Boy comes and saves the day.
Oh, boy does come at the last minute and kind of save the day while the crab
because he comes and he's like licking Amy's mouth. He's like fucking mouth fuck. He does. And then he's like, and she's like, oh shit. Oh. And then, he comes back. And he saves the day.
He does come back. He quits being butthurt about getting yelled at for almost getting Joel killed.
Gonna say this earlier real fast.
Yeah.
Boy, I think that's a good dog. That's a good ass dog in a movie because he's in it the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a good dog. It's actually 2 dogs.
Really?
So I thought that was even more interesting because you got 2 dogs to be really good dogs. Yeah. And they also said, Joel, what's his real name?
Dylan O'Brien.
Yeah. They said that he wouldn't work with anyone else. Like he would, but he would like take a day off if someone else was working with the dog. Like he had a really close bond with them, I guess. But these dogs, they're Australian Kelpies, and
they're beautiful dogs.
They're so pretty, but they were actually Hero and Dodge.
Okay,
which
those are good dog names.
Those are good dog names, and I was like, that's probably just Boy is probably also perfect. I just thought that was interesting because, like, it's not just one dog. Like, you can get a really good. I mean, I know that's a good breed of dog, but like, I just thought it was really neat that
they're beautiful dogs too. They're like they're like chocolate and caramel colored.
Right.
Yeah, with like black accents.
Right. And also for you not to notice it's 2 different dogs.
Maybe they're brothers or something. I don't know.
Well, that's why I didn't know. Maybe they're twins, whatever. Yeah. But I was like, man, because that's a good dog. That's a good ass dog in a whole movie. Because you could call him almost the co-star of the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, for sure.
So it's 2 different dogs, which I thought was pretty neat. And he saves the day. So
he certainly does. Okay. We're starting to run low on trivia. So, do you want to do
trivia?
No, we're doing it. No, we're doing it. Do you want to do? We've got quite a bit of horror movie trivia. I've got Disney trivia.
No, there's so much. It's hard to remember.
I've got Lord of the Rings trivia, Marvel movie trivia, or sci-fi movie trivia.
That's so much.
You want to do
Marvel or Lord of the Rings?
Some of these are a little bit harder. So we're going to do Marvel movie trivia. Do you want the first 5 questions or the last 5 questions?
The first 5.
The first 5. What fake name does Natasha use when she first meets Tony Stark in Iron Man 2?
Black Widow.
Does she go by Nicole Ryan, Norma Robinson, Natalie Rushman, or Naomi Roberts?
D.
Oh, so sorry, drink a beer.
That's Black Widow, right? Natasha. Okay, I was like,
yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Nicole Ryan, Norma Robinson, or
Norma.
Natalie Rushman? You're going to go with Norma?
Yeah. God damn
Drink your
it.
beer. Your remaining possible answers are Nicole Ryan and Natalie Rushman.
Natalie.
Very nice.
God damn. I was going to pick it first, but I was like, no, that would be too simple.
Tony appoints Pepper Potts as CEO of Stark Industries and hires Natalie Rushman to replace her as his personal assistant. What animal does Darren Cross unsuccessfully shrink in Ant-Man? Is it A, rats, B, lambs, C, rabbits, or D, a guinea pig?
Rabbit.
Oh, so sorry.
God.
That's a tough one.
These are.
Mm-hmm. Rats, lambs, guinea pigs.
I'm trying to even think, but a lamb.
Very nice.
That was like,
Cross uses lambs as test subjects despite promising hope that they would be using rats.
I knew it wasn't rats. You know what I mean? Like I was like, not a lamb. Maybe they were rabbits, but no.
I don't. Man,
different.
these are like these.
That
This
is
is like
hard.
this is like Marvel movie trivia from the movies I haven't seen in a long time.
Which Ant-Man was that?
Ant-Man.
Oh yeah.
In the Avengers, which character remarks that the battle for New York is just like Budapest? Is it Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America, or Hawkeye?
Black Widow.
Very good. Just like Budapest
Yeah.
all over again. Hawkeye. You and I remember Budapest very differently.
Yeah, I seriously was like, Hawkeye? He say that? No. I was
Which is a funny thing to say. You and I remember Budapest
Yeah.
differently because the city's crawling with aliens.
and the first thing that popped in my mind was like Hawkeye and her talking. I don't know who said it. It was her. Okay.
Oh, here we go. You got this one all day. In Deadpool, Wade Wilson teams up with Colossus and what other member of the X-Men?
What's his
Is
name?
it Wolverine, Cannonball, Jubilee, or Negasonic Teenage Warhead?
D.
Very
Right.
good.
Well, he calls her all kinds of names.
Negasonic Teenage what the
Which is
shit?
right.
Just as he corners Ajax, Deadpool is interrupted by Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, who attempt to recruit him to join the X-Men. In the confusion, Ajax escapes, but the three heroes later team up to take him down. Your final question. What organization takes over S.H.I.E.L.D. in Captain America,
Hydra.
the Winter Soldier? From the moment S.H.I.E.L.D. was founded after World War II, Hydra has been secretly operating within its ranks, snowing global chaos with the objective of making humanity surrender its freedom in exchange for security. The infiltration is exposed during Project Insight, and Hydra, in an effort to save itself, begins purging all S.H.I.E.L.D. facilities of non-Hydra aligned individuals.
I was wondering.
You had some hard-ass questions, because I was thinking of the answers.
And I got them all before the last one.
The one about Black Widow's name in Iron Man 2, I would have guessed it correctly because I was like, I don't know, maybe that one, and it turned out it was the right answer.
And I always do that too. I'm like, oh, Natalie, because I always like, I don't know. It's like I always talk myself out of the first one. Okay. In Guardians of the Galaxy, which actress is Quill's ship named after?
Oh, that would be Alyssa Milano.
Ooh, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so smart.
I
Didn't
know
have
that
to
one.
know him.
You know, The Little Mermaid is
The
also...
Milano is named after Peter Quill's childhood crush.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
You know who else is designed after Alyssa Milano is The Little Mermaid.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a pretty lady. She was a super pretty lady, like in 89, 93, whatever year that was supposed to be.
Okay.
Anyway, next question.
Number 2. What is the name of the little boy Tony befriends in Iron Man 3?
Oh, fuck.
Henry, Harry, Harvey,
Ugh.
Harley.
Ugh. Give them to me one more time.
Right. Henry,
Henry. I don't fucking
Harry,
know.
Harvey, Harley.
Just the first one?
Not
Fuck.
Henry.
All right.
You suck.
Whatever the second one was.
Harry. You suck. Drink a beer. Quick.
The answer 3.
Harvey. You suck.
Fucking, are you
3 strikes,
kidding
you're
me?
out. It was Harley. And I would have never, ever thought that in my life. Number...
You got me good, you fucker.
3.
Okay.
Which Avenger does Thor team up with in Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, shit. That's...
Do you just know it?
Yeah.
You're just going to... Oh.
Yeah, I know that.
All right, then throw it out there.
I'd like to hear what the options are.
You have no options here. Iron Man, Hawkeye, Cap, or the Hulk?
It's the big guy.
Ooh, drink your beer.
Fine.
I'll drink mine. I'm just joking. Okay, number 4.
Okay.
What kind of war animal is bred by the border tribe in Black Panther?
Ooh.
Lions, elephants, rhinos, or panthers?
Motherfuck. So the options were lion. I don't think it's lions.
Lions, elephants,
rhinos,
rhinos, or panthers?
I think it's rhinos. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know. I did know that one. During the Battle of Mount Bashinga, Wakabi calls for the border tribe's war rhinoceroses. Thanks to these reinforcements, the border tribe gains the upper hand against the Duramalaji until what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. That one was really long. I went and read it.
That's fine.
I was like,
Final question?
yeah.
All right.
In Ant-Man, where does Hank Pym keep an army tank?
Oh, fuck.
In
All
his
right.
basement,
Okay.
a keychain, his secret lab, or his garage?
Oh, shit. Is it a keychain? I think it might be the keychain. Yes!
Yeah. The shrunken tank is a T-34 Soviet combat vehicle exposed to Pym particles that Hank keeps as a keychain in case he ever needs an escape vehicle. That's a pretty good job.
That is pretty
Maybe
good
not
job.
as good as I did, but it's pretty good.
You know, you did real fine.
I did all right.
I
dabble.
You done a real fine job, honey. All right. So, that's it for the first half of the show. We are going to go watch something that looks real fucking stupid. We're going to watch another creature feature.
This is probably going to be really nice because I don't normally watch 2 creature features a day.
Well, it looks breezy. It looks breezy though. At an hour and 22 minutes, we are going to watch the PG-13 sci-fi comedy from 1994, Tammy and the T-Rex. It's got a 4.9 on IMDb, 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. Denise Richards, Paul Walker, Terry Kaiser, nice. Theo Fawcett, don't know him. Sean Whalen. Sean Whalen is
I know the one
fucking
girl
classic.
in the whole movie.
You'll know Sean
Whalen. And I'll only
when
watch
you see
this
him.
movie because I like the title. I will probably give it at least 3 stars because of the title.
Tammy and the T-Rex?
Yeah, because it reminds me of your
My mom?
your mommy.
My mom's name is Tammy.
Only if it was Tamara, it would probably get 3.5 stars automatically.
I did ask her if she'd ever seen this, and she said no, but she was aware of it. So it looks fucking horrific, and I cannot wait. We're going to throw it to the sponsors. A little ad break for you. If there are any promo codes in there, be sure to check those out. You know, we like to see what we can do for our listeners, if anything. And then, we'll see you guys back in a few minutes. Coming this October.
No Country for Birdmen.
You know, my daddy was a sheriff at the same time, and I like to think he was proud.
Just the look in his eyes as he's strangling this man.
Good Lord, Sheriff, it's quite a mess we got over here, isn't it? Well, if it ain't, it'll do until the mess gets here.
Llewellyn Moss, a perfect cowboy name.
Where you been all day?
What's in the satchel?
Well, I meant no offense, young sir. I'll tell you what, why don't you come on down? We're about to go have a little supper.
Keep running that mouth, I'm gonna take you in the back and screw you.
Keep it up.
It's kind of hard to escape from something like this when you're in the middle of nowhere.
I'm going to do something fucking stupid. If I don't come back, tell my mama I love her.
If you know where the money is, why don't you have it right now?
Your mama's dead, Llewellyn. Oh, then I'll tell her myself.
What's in the satchel?
Are you deaf or are you fucking stupid?
Y'all getting any rain up there?
He takes his boots off. He takes his socks off.
To give out no information.
He is just a fucking beast of a man.
Sheriff, we just missed him.
Kind of makes his head look like the tip of a penis.
Oh, he dead all right.
Where's my medicine? I put it right here. I got the cancer
trying to keep up with the case.
We're going to El Paso. You know how many people I know in El Paso?
Let me tell you a little story.
Hello, Carson. Let's go to your room. Jacking off.
Because he's drinking that same milk that fucking Anton drank.
I thought no one would ever ask. I've never seen a Mexican in a suit before.
You're going to get a little blood everywhere.
Ooh, doggy, that's a lot of smack.
He's seeing the same things I'm seeing.
Between the battle between man and steer, nothing is certain.
Kind of a hitman, I guess. Because things are getting a little out of hand.
He's got no boots. He's got buckshot in his shoulder. He's got a fucking wet gun.
Orson Welles shows up?
I ain't asking you to do nothing illegal.
Norteño band?
Would he be dead?
You bring me the money. I'll spare your wife.
They just casually have a tarp over it.
You got it.
If you're into Wild West footwear, check it out.
Let me know if anybody comes in. And by that, I mean any swinging dick.
Now he's got no boots.
Essentially tracked down the last man standing. But he has the money.
Bardem. Brolin. Jones. No Country for Birdmen.
Oh, shit. Let's get fucking tanked.
Special thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams. Please check out his latest project at suns.bandcamp.com. That is sunds.bandcamp.com. Thanks to Lamplighter Productions for our artwork. Please check out more of their stuff on Instagram at lamplighter_productions_IL. First time listener, we're anywhere podcasts are found. But if you don't subscribe to any of those services, listen to the show for free on our website. It's just the number 2, movies.buzzsprout.com. That's itsjusttwomovies.buzzsprout.com. Want to get in touch with the show? Email us at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com or find us on Twitter or Instagram at itsjusttwomovies. Want to support the show? Great. Leave a like, comment, or subscribe on whatever platform tickles your fancy. And one last thank you to our editor, head writer, producer, and host. Those are all me. So anyway, back to the show. All right. So I hope any of those advertisements were to your liking. We just watched Tammy and the T-Rex, and you might hear one or both of our dogs barking outside.
That's because we live in the woods.
We do live in the woods.
And they bark at shit so we can know.
A lot of critters out here too. So, they're just going to do their thing. Okay. So we watched Tammy and the T-Rex, which is a 1994 sci-fi comedy directed by Stuart Raffle, screenplay by Stuart Raffle and Gary Broquette. I had a budget of about $1 million, and I couldn't find the box office earnings. The one thing I did find said about $1 million.
I saw that too, but it literally said box office, and then parentheses budget $1 million about like it was.
Yeah, like they were like they were both the same. So I don't know. I'm hoping this movie broke even.
I honestly think it might have ish, because $1 million is not that much money.
Yeah. I couldn't find the box office. This stars Denise Richards as Tammy, Paul Walker as Michael, Terry Kaiser as Dr.
Walkenstein.
Yeah, Walkenstein. Theo Forsett as Byron, Sean Whalen as Weasel, Ellen Dubin as Helga, and George Pilgrim as Billy.
Oh, Billy.
So before we get into any of this, what did you think of this as a bad movie? Like, knowing it was kind of, I don't even know that I would call this like trash cinema.
I don't think it was trash cinema, only cinema. God. Probably shouldn't drink so many beers.
That's okay. Part of the game.
I don't know if it was trash cinema, only because they did have some. Those are names in the biz. Like those are legit names in there. So whenever it was, but when I think about it, because I normally don't even care to watch a bad movie.
No,
I think it was fun doing it for the show.
Okay.
It makes it a hell of a lot more fun.
I'll take that.
It makes it a lot of fun.
So as far
to
as
do it for the show.
So as far as bad movies that you have sat through against your will with me, holding you at gunpoint.
Right.
Where would you rate this one? Like, if you had to give it out of
So
10
it
thumbs,
was like
as a bad movie, you knew it was bad when you went into it.
Oh, I knew it was a bad movie. I was going into it
You knew
as a bad movie.
You knew it wasn't fucking amazing. You knew
So
it wasn't
for a fun movie, you're trying to watch as a bad movie, right?
You're deliberately watching it because you want to watch something that's so bad it's good.
People do that? No. Okay. As a bad movie,
Not everybody, but
I'm
if
gonna
you-
say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, give me 6, and then chop off the knuckle. Give me about
So
5.5.
5.5 is a bad movie?
Yeah,
What would
because
you-
because bad movies to me, they're all like a 1.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So would you rate it?
2?
Would you rate it the same thing as a regular movie? Like if you're just channel
I don't know.
surfing
I guess
and it popped
maybe
up
6. I
and
guess
you just decided to watch
I would never
it?
do that.
So you'd
I
rate
would
it,
never do it.
You rate it better as a regular movie and lower
Wait,
as a bad
no.
movie.
As a no, as a regular movie, no, I wouldn't even put it on.
You wouldn't.
I
you
know.
wouldn't. Well, just assume that you did, and something possessed you to finish it.
And it was a bad movie,
What would
and
you
it was
think
a
of it?
regular day. It'd probably be like a 2 thumbs,
2, okay. And
maybe
you're gonna do
2.5.
You're gonna do 5.5 as a bad movie.
Yeah, because I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's what I rate my movies on.
That is
How
true.
much fun I had,
How much fun they were.
how much it could be, or how emotional I was attached to it. Like
I would rate this as like a 9.5 as a bad movie.
Oh my god!
I fucking I love so many things about this.
Maybe I gotta watch more bad movies then, because guess what? I've probably watched 5 bad movies.
I've seen hundreds of them.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't watch bad movies very often, so it's hard for me to
gauge it as
yeah.
I can see that making
Because
it hard to
I'm
make a
not-
sliding scale for it.
because it
It's
is
like,
a different scale. Maybe you shouldn't do thumbs. Maybe you should do pinkies.
Oh no, it's already
instead
set
of
in
for
stone.
the bad movies.
The thumbs, it's the thumbs that bind us. So essentially, just for some clarification on our rating scale, which is not really clarified in any way ever. It is vague as it can possibly be, because it honestly doesn't fucking matter. If you like a movie, you like it. If you don't like a movie, it's okay to not like it. Wouldn't shame
But
anybody for liking anything. But so as a movie, you just would give it like a regular. That's your
As
Tom.
a
Tom
movie?
at the water cooler says, "Hey, have you seen Tammy and the
Oh,
T-Rex?"
and I
And you go,
watch it?
"Actually, I have." He goes, "What'd you think of it out of 10?"
2,
Okay,
1,
2.
2.
So two or a 1.
thumbs.
Okay, 2 out of 10 is
Yeah.
your rating for that.
So I guess maybe like 6 thumbs then.
Now,
I don't know.
if you were in the mood for something so bad it's good,
I'm not.
and you put on Tammy and the T-Rex,
I'm never in the mood.
Well,
for
I know,
it.
but you knew it wasn't fantastic or mind blowing going into it just looking at the cover.
I didn't look at the cover.
Oh,
I didn't do it. I didn't look at anything.
okay.
You said Tammy and the T-Rex after the fucking whatever the other movie was we just watched.
Love and Monsters.
Yeah, Love and Monsters, which is funny because I do love that movie, but the one we're talking about, because we really didn't just watch it.
Okay, so as a regular movie, and I said it's a bad movie, we'll give it, what did I say, 9.5?
Maybe I need
I liked it
to
a
watch
lot.
more bad movies though to have a better scale, because
Yeah.
what was that? We watched one bad movie and I had fun watching it.
Was it RoboCroc?
No, was it on that?
I think it might have been
We're-
RoboCroc.
That one, okay.
Croczilla.
That one would have been like a 4 though, because I guess I don't know how to scale it then, because I did like it and I thought it was funny, somewhat because of it. I had a lot more fun with this movie.
It's a scale of 1 to 10 of how much you enjoyed the things that were like, oh god, cheesy, or you know what?
It honestly wasn't that cheesy.
I didn't think it was.
It
either.
really wasn't. It was uncomfortable more than it was cheesy.
Yeah.
Because like a T-Rex fondling a teenager is weird.
Yeah, well,
but
I don't think she's a teenager in it, but
she is in the movie because they're in high school.
right, that's the
It's just that's the weird part about it. Not
not the dinosaur.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't cheesy.
We'll get into
honestly,
all that. We'll get into all
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's a bad movie, 9.5. Regular movie, I'm gonna go 6.5.
you did 9.5 for a bad movie.
As a bad movie, yeah, 9.5. Like if you're in the mood for
You
something
need
that
to
is
put a
very,
poster up in here telling like the sick poster in the doctor's office. That's what you needed here.
Oh, yeah.
Bad movies.
Point to how bad it was.
Right. How do you feel? Well, if that's the case, I would have, I don't know. I don't.
Well, that's okay. You don't have to know.
Because I feel like, I guess a 5 3/4 or whatever would be kind of low, but.
Did you have fun with it?
I did, but I wouldn't watch it again.
Did you have the same kind
ever?
Did you have okay? Yeah, that sounds about right. I'd watch it again.
No.
Yeah,
with Madeline.
I thought
Not with me.
that the comedy in it, like the jokes in the movie really landed for me. Like when Denise Richards calls Paul Walker and she's like, "Oh, come over," and he's like, "I'm coming." And he runs out the door and he runs back in and he runs out the door and he runs back in and he's like, "Oh yeah, I gotta get a condom." And he goes in his drawer to get his condom. It's like in a drawer full of like knives and watches and earrings and like pokey metal objects.
And you said that, but
it's a really clever joke that's just framed wrong.
But
because
a lot of
then you would have been like if it was just full of steak knives or something.
In that movie is for men. Though.
Oh yeah. So, it's very shoehorned. It's from it's from 1994.
It's also in the 90s, so everyone gets harassed and it's okay. Let me grab your boobs. Let me touch your butt.
Yeah, all the women are over sexualized. There's
I know, but I'm just saying like most of that stuff. It was funny because they were trying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not because I saw little. I don't know.
I always feel like specifically in the art of comedy, you can say whatever you want in the effort to get a laugh out of somebody. Whether or not it's funny or it lands, that's a different thing entirely.
And I did. I laughed through a lot of it. And I thought it all was funny because for me, it's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm not offended. And I find it funny. I grew up with 4 brothers.
Right.
It's funny. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dick, like him having a boner. Them grabbing, literally.
Yeah.
So just different things. It was funny in the context and it's fine. I guess for rating, it doesn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of sexist humor. There's some like homophobic humor. There's some racist humor. But for the most part, here's how I put it: in a dramatic movie, if somebody makes a racist joke, it's super cringy. If it's a comedy movie where there is nothing that's off limits as far as comedy goes, they can land well and still be humorous.
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah.
Especially in the 90s.
You ever seen Blazing Saddles? That movie's
my
super
dad's
racist.
Favorite movie. I've probably seen it a million times, but it's okay. Yeah. Like, it's just like...
Culturally, culturally it doesn't age well, but we're trying to take it in context.
Right, exactly.
Right. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, 90% of the humor in this lands for me.
More than that, probably.
It's just even not framed right.
98% of the humor is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're digging. But it's fine.
So, anyway, we'll get into the whole thing. But if you're wondering to yourself, the fuck is Tammy and the T-Rex? Let me tell you.
It was actually Tanny.
It was Tanny? It was going to be Tanny?
It was going to be Tanny.
It is too funny, by the way. Hold on, I'm going to text my mom real quick.
Because... it's about his parents. Mike
and
Tammy.
Yep.
That's the whole movie. It's about Mike and Tammy.
Oh, she's texting me back.
Well,
so I texted my mom and said, because my mom's name is Tammy and my dad's name is Michael. It's Tammy and Michael. The stars of Tammy and the T-Rex. I've heard it's actually an adaptation. But, Michael gets turned into a T-Rex, but they still love each other. And,
the end.
She said, of course. Good grief. All right. And that's been Tammy Talk. This is...
Talks with Tammy.
Man. I tell you what, if you have any like great stories or tidbits about your parents being in a movie or like a humorous circumstance of your parents being named after characters that are in a movie, write me and let me know. I'd love to hear about it. It's just 2movies@gmail.com. Or at It's Just 2 Movies on the Tweeters or the Instagrams.
Not Facebook.
Nah.
No.
Nah, not Facebook. I've just never been a fan of Facebook. I mean, if anybody out there wants to like take care of a Facebook page or
A
community
fans page.
or whatever they're called. Yeah, a fans page. You feel free to contact me. I would be all for that being there. I just don't want to do it because I don't dig on it, man. It's just not me. I sound like such a dick. Maybe I am a dick.
You
Anywho,
didn't take it out.
yeah, I will.
I didn't mean to, like, but I just like, that's what I always think, because you're like, Facebook.
Yeah, fucking hate Facebook. Tammy and Michael, just a couple of high schoolers in love. And
Classic jock.
classic jock,
Classic cheerleader.
classic cheerleader, and classic bully that's 35 years old.
Oh, I was like, Michael's not a bully, weirdly.
Yeah.
Talking about Billy.
Billy's
Old
the
Billy.
old Billy the bully.
He's 100. He's also like 40, so it's weird. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
he's-
doesn't go to school. He just bullies these kids.
He's noticeably way older. He does, however, drive a sick Pontiac. That's beside the point. Long story short, I'm going to rush through a bunch of it. This is the elevator pitch. They're madly in love. Bullies jock and leaves him. They beat him up. They put him in the trunk of the car.
They don't just beat him up though. They
Yeah, I know, it's hysterical. Anyway.
they beat him up and they hold each other's dicks for like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
The cops come.
to
They
remove.
still don't let each other's dicks go.
Still got each other's dicks.
I'm counting to 3. 1, 2, 3. Let them go. Let your like they still don't let each other's dicks go.
Yeah,
and then
and-
finally they're like, oh, okay, like
Paul Walker had a cup on, and the other guy
right.
just got
It's
his,
like,
got his dick and balls crushed.
Like,
It's fucking super weird. So the essentially the bully gets him. He leaves him. We'll come back to this. I'm gonna speed through all this shit. The jock dies for some reason. There's a cataclysm that makes the jock die. His brain is then removed by a mad scientist who puts it into a animatronic dinosaur, which they're very clear about, which I think is proactive.
because it's real. That's a real animatronic dinosaur.
Yeah,
That's why they did
They're
the
right.
movie.
yeah,
That's why the director said, okay, I'll do this movie. Is
Right.
because somebody came to him and was like, hey, I have this working animatronic dinosaur.
right.
For real. Like,
Yeah.
that's why they.
You want to make a movie with it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And he was like, okay. Like, okay.
bet. So now the jock is he's a robot dinosaur, but like just with rubber on it. It's just an animatronic dinosaur, like from a museum or whatever. But it has a human brain in it, and it also has magic arms that are however long they need to be to accomplish
Yeah,
his
not
task.
T-Rex arms.
No,
Definitely not
probably my
T-Rex.
favorite part of the movie. But anyway, him and the dinosaur and Denise Richards still love each other. So that's the pitch for the movie. So I think you've taken more notes than any other guest
These are
on the show
micro
for the bad
pages.
movie.
Just
They,
like,
they are
micro
they are
pages.
micro pages, but I mean, fair is fair. You've got 4 of them.
I do have 4 micro pages.
You got quite a bit of stuff over
But-
there.
In my defense, only 2 is kind of going through the movie. One is just fun little things, and the other is trying to recast the movie while I went.
She's doing her fucking homework. You hear that? You
Only-
hear that out there? Birdman, you listening to this one?
Well, only because I'm not, after the movie's over,
I forget.
I blank. I blank hard.
If you hadn't done it, I actually have written in the format that I have written down in my notebook on the second part of the movie. If we haven't recast anything yet, take a break
well,
and then come back and do it.
it's easier for me when someone's playing a character because then I can be like, well, you remind me of this person. Oh, haha. Okay, I'm going to write this one down. So that was a page of my notes. A little bit of fun tidbits and then just 2 quick bits of through the movie. Just different things I noticed through the movie.
Well, what's the first thing you got there
On what?
on your notes?
On my notes, I will say this. The very beginning, only because it takes me a bit to remember characters' names and different things to get invested.
Same.
I did like that in the beginning credits, they had the character's name and they had the real name with it, the star's name in smaller print with it. So then it was like, oh, you see Tammy and it's fucking Denise, and you see Michael and it's Paul. So that just makes it a little easier to see who is who at the very beginning. So then you don't have to think about it whenever you're doing the movie. That was my very first note.
Yeah, it's introducing characters in a thing. I think is a delicate process, and there are a lot of movies out there that do it correctly, and I assume this part actually comes from the writing.
Well, because a lot of movies don't do that at all, which is fine. I get it because some movies you can't.
Then it comes down to how well they do introduce them.
Right.
Yeah.
How well you want to explain this character, how much you're going to give me, or is this just a random kind of person? Because some of those people, if they wouldn't have even put it up there, they would have just been random characters.
Right.
After that, I did have classic guy fight over cheerleader with wrestling moves.
Yeah, I was like, if by
elbow
classic,
drop
you mean
from the top.
WWE from the top. Bro.
I know. I was like,
the steel chair. No,
classic 90s. Get out of here. And that's
what I mean. Like, sometimes I feel like this is trying to be like an actual, like a teen sci-fi comedy movie, and sometimes I'm like, is this Police Academy? Are they just doing like Police Academy style bits, like that very self-aware?
Maybe because Police Academy was before, so
while the credits are still rolling, though, there's this awesome like girls dancing to a weird rock song about reptiles. It's like, do it dinosaur style. It's fucking so money.
I might have walked to the bathroom in that part.
Oh my god, it's fucking so cheesy. But I liked it, like, because if it's like Police Academy style comedy, real slapsticky,
right?
That's
honestly,
part of it.
When I recast this, because Eddie Murphy's way too old to recast this. Not like way too old, but he's much older than the people I recasted. So
you're talking about like as
when
Byron?
I recast it, that's kind of how I thought about it. I just recasted it as a comedy. So
it is a comedy.
No, I know, but as a as a teen comedy.
There's a lot of stuff in this it's very funny. But if it were framed a little differently,
or someone else did
it would be way funnier.
Right. It would be. Or someone else did it, because also I find other people funnier than other people. It doesn't, you know, when I look at them, they're just funnier. They're
better facial expressions,
right,
or
just anything.
Outrageous body language or what
right,
have you.
Right.
Yeah. Denise Richards gives Paul Walker a flower and then he eats it. That was pretty good.
Classic boy meets girl who meets ex-boyfriend,
even though he
turned
thinks into a dinosaur.
Right, and then his brain isn't a dinosaur because there's a sexy nurse who wants to lick his scalpel.
Yeah.
It just keeps going and going.
It's about this time we cut to the doctor, like the evil doctor guy.
Yeah.
And his weird, tall, sexy lady that likes to... Helga.
She should be real ugly.
Like in Dodgeball, Helga.
Yeah, that's what I think of. I'm like, unibrow, fucking like Australian something, or...
Yeah, but she's not, though. That's just a facial prosthetic.
Because exactly.
Yeah, just a weird...
They're not.
Yeah, make your face weird. Here's a unibrow.
Right.
Which I thought even the like sexy Helga lady assistant or whatever, her character was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I was fine with that.
Yeah, she was a little off, so it made the doctor not as crazy.
Yeah. The crazy mad scientist guy. I didn't hate him either. I thought he was fine.
No, they were definitely fine.
Yeah, which they're both safe from my recast. I wouldn't mind having them back again. I thought they were fine.
I also did because honestly, the doctor, he was fine. He was older. You could tell. The sexy nurse, it doesn't matter who plays the sexy nurse.
No,
as long as they're not like. Oh,
if you were
gonna do
it, if you were gonna redo it present day, she's kind of got a like Janet from The Good Place vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, definitely.
That's if you were gonna do it present day. If you're making it back in 1994, I'd leave her as she is. I thought she was fine.
Yeah, she was fine.
So we cut to the doctor, and you see this doctor has made this animatronic T-Rex, And I gotta say, the payoff, worth it. It's a pretty good, like, museum style fake T-Rex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it looks fine. Like,
Yeah, for the most part.
You ever
For
been
the
to a
most
place
part,
where they got fake animatronic dinosaurs? It's that.
Right, but for the most part, it looks like a dinosaur, but until it gets rubbery. But that's different. You know, like, you can't always maneuver them how you want them to. But
I think that it's common knowledge now that dinosaurs almost certainly had feathers.
And they were colorful.
Maybe this is just me. Yeah, certainly several of them
Right.
would probably have colorful plumage. That's
Right.
how birds do today.
I know, but on all...
But I would like to see a dinosaur movie, like a monster flick, creature feature, whatever, where they just try to do that interpretation of a dinosaur. Because I think that it would turn out way more fucking terrifying.
It would be so scary.
Yeah.
They're so
just
scary.
to seem like they're all their feathers fucking
right.
fluff
Because
up
if you've
and
ever
shit.
been face to face with an emu, motherfucker, those things are terrible. Because my parents used to have emus when I was a kid.
Aggressive rooster.
But yeah, but an emu is like 7 fucking feet tall, 8 feet tall, big ass bird, fucking gonna big ass beak. Yeah. So multiply that by about 100 and make it a dinosaur because they are.
Yeah, it'd be fucking sick and terrifying. I'd like somebody to do it. That
Maybe
being
they
said,
don't.
for 1994, for questionably $1 million, this animatronic dinosaur looks fucking great.
For question.
Yeah, a questionable $1 million. I think a lot of that got spent on like booze and partying and having people in the.
Well, yeah, because it, like, when it does go to after they're in the hospital and they take him and they cut his head open and put him in the dinosaur, then they go to a party. Like, they're just hanging out and partying. And
well, the dinosaur breaks out. Everybody else is having a party. Denise Richards is pissed
and upset.
And upset because her boyfriend's dead.
Right, but
she's still
why
at a party.
Are you at a party? Right. Okay, don't do that.
Yeah. Man, some of the gimmicks in this are fucking just so good. Oh, I do want to talk about how Paul Walker got killed, though. You remember this craziness? Denise Richards calls him and she's like, come over to my house. So he does. He comes up the back garden wall or whatever and gets in her bedroom window. She's like, oh, fucking be quiet. And then they do like a Chevy Chase gag of him knocking over like everything in the room, which is pretty good.
It's okay.
It's just the
it's
same.
It's no Chevy Chase, but it's okay.
It's the same. It's a Chevy Chase gag, though. So then some other girls driving down the road see him sneaking in her window, so they call the bully. And then you have better notes on the next thing that happens than I do. Would you recant those for me if you would?
Oh, whenever
like when Billy gets
goes,
to the house, I missed whatever transpired there, but you were cracking the fuck up about it.
I was laughing because Billy gets into the house. He's like so excited. He's pretty much just like, shut up, invite me over. Come on, whatever. Shut up, invite me over. I'm coming over. Comes over, makes a ruckus. Billy.
Michael. You're talking about
Michael.
Michael
makes a ruckus, comes over, whatever. Billy and his gang of like 15 people, including like 5 girls.
He did have more than just a
shitload
posse.
Of people. I mean, this one guy, like, you're really intimidated. So comes over to Tammy's parents' house, and the parents are like, "Oh no, it's Billy. We should call the cops." And the mom's like, "Oh," and Dad, no, I got it. Lets him straight in, goes straight to the top floor.
Yeah,
and no, he just. So then Michael escapes out the window, and then they rush out the door. Dad follows them out the door after he was like, I'm not calling the cops. And then they call the cops. I was like way too much. Like,
yeah, it was, they're throwing a lot at you.
You let him in. You let like 15 people in your home to go to your daughter's room, and then you're out. You mangy kids.
Hi, I'm here for the gangbang.
Right, exactly. And he's like, I'm not calling the cops. I'll handle this. And then he obviously doesn't handle it because he calls the cops anyway. Yeah. And then they all run off, and they all have like their drag cars and different things, and chasing Michael down to beat his ass, I guess.
So Michael is running down the street.
Right.
Billy is having his buddies drive his car, and he's got a baseball bat, and he's hanging out the passenger side. hits him with the baseball bat. They jump him, beat the shit out of him, and then they stuff him in the trunk of the car. They're out driving around, and then they just see a lion.
They let him out, and he walks away.
It's a MacGuffin. There's just like just like wild cats out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So there's a lion and what was the other one you said? A jaguar. There's
a leopard.
A leopard.
It was like a It was like a.
There's like a black leopard, and there's definitely a black panther, which would be.
I don't know if there was the leopard. It could have just been the panther.
Either way, call back to trivia from right before the commercial break, where we had a Black Panther question.
From the movie Black Panther.
Is it less funny if I explain it? Write me at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com. Or tweet at me on the Twitter at itsjusttwomovies, or look at my grams on the gram at itsjusttwomovies.
Yeah, so in that scene, which I thought is funny because they had to have used a real animal of some sort, because the stunt man actually gets bitten.
Yeah.
By
so they let Michael go on the road, and then they book it the fuck out, but there are just 3 massive wildcats that don't belong in that area. But in real
life, the stunt man gets bitten by
the stunt of
panther,
him getting,
jaguar, whatever you call it.
It's a lion.
No, because the panther in the actual.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that got the shot?
No, I'm talking about the stunt man in real life.
Okay.
Gets bitten by an actual panther. Not in the movie.
Oh.
In real life.
Okay. Well, I thought you meant the stunt man in the scene, because it's clearly not Paul Walker getting attacked by a lion.
No, it is. But regardless of the scene in the movie, the stunt man gets bitten by the panther.
That's fucking crazy.
No, he gets bitten by the panther.
Was he all right?
Jaguar. I don't know. I assume. It just said he got bitten by it, but I thought that was crazy that they would use real... like, regardless, even if it was like, oh, he got bitten by the lion or bitten by a cougar, whatever.
So you saw the scene where Paul Walker's character gets eaten by the lion, though, right? Okay, that's what I was talking. I'm sorry. I didn't understand.
I see that, but that's all I'm saying is like, okay, after that scene, you see the Black Panther.
Okay.
The stuntman gets bitten by a panther.
So the stuntman who didn't get bit by the panther, but the stuntman on the movie that gets attacked by the lion deliberately, awesome fucking performance. That whole bit where the lion is like eating him and killing him, I was like, holy shit, this looks fucking amazing. Like, it looks really convincing. I don't mean they're like flailing around a dummy. I mean, like, that's a person. That's a stuntman, like a trained lion handler.
Right.
And it looks fucking scary. Like, it looks legit. It looks scary.
Right. So he also got bit at some point, which is also terrifying.
Right.
Because they did have multiple. I don't know why, but.
I wonder if it was like I wonder if in any movie they ever get like, they're like, we need a lion, but we have a trained cougar. So what if we just put a fake mane on it?
Right. Well, because that lion did have a really dark, almost like Mufasa type of mane. It had that black outer layer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't. So maybe, I don't know.
It was cool they had big cats in it, but also...
But it had nothing to do with anything.
This is to the tune of, you just beat the shit out of somebody you don't like, you stuffed him in your trunk, you were driving him out a gravel road, probably to kill him and bury him anyway, but then you just come across a lion.
So you're like, yeah.
So you just let him out and drive off.
Let the lion do the job.
Yeah, so the lion does do the job.
Right.
You wake up in the hospital, and the fake doctor and Helga come in, and they pretty much pronounce him dead, and then proceed to steal the body and take it to like a fake morgue.
Right.
Yeah.
The doctor's like, Helga, take him to the morgue. And she's like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'll take him. And then guess what? Fucking 30 minutes into the movie, still no T-Rex. Still haven't seen no T-Rex.
And then there he is. And the payoff is huge.
Takes that whole time.
He looks badass, though. I mean, it just looks like a good animatronic. Again. So, yeah, they put the brain in the T-Rex. He fucking comes to sooner than they thought.
the whole time, though. Even
Yeah.
during the procedure, he's like cutting into his brain. And Mike's like, oh, I'm the wicked, not the Wicked Witch. What is it? Dorothy. He's like pretending to be Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. So then he passes out again and wakes up. And then eventually they take his brain out with no repercussion and place it right into this dinosaur. And then
That just immediately,
it's,
when they're taking his brain out and the doctor's like, all right, the gags and some of the prop gags in this are great. When they're cutting Paul Walker's skull off to remove his brain, he's just using like a jigsaw and cutting straight through
he
it.
used the scalpel first.
Yeah.
He did the thin line scalpel and then the jigsaw.
Yeah.
But that's when he woke up. He was like,
And the scientist is like poking parts of the brain, and he pokes the one that makes his dick hard, and then he like wiggles it back and forth. Just some good, physical comedy bits in there. Like I said earlier, I think it's a big payoff that they do kind of make sure that you know that it's an animatronic dinosaur. Because if they were trying to pass it off as a real T-Rex,
well, because
it's a different movie at that
they
point.
make the comment too about, hey, if it was animatronic, then it couldn't be
you couldn't trank it.
Yeah, you couldn't trank it, and so obviously that is kind of the point of the movie too. Is you obviously know it's animatronic. You put a brain in it, it comes to life.
Mm-hmm.
So
the special effects in this I thought were really fun. It doesn't mean they're good. It just means they're put together in a way that I find very amusing. Like when they show the dinosaur walking and they show him like zoomed out as a whole silhouette.
Right.
It's fun. Like they're like, we don't have the budget to make this look good.
And also like the little bits of him, like the dinosaur just hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, and
like,
nobody sees him.
A T-Rex could just hide in the bushes at the parties and at the hospital and just wherever, and everyone's like, I don't see shit, or they don't feel the rumbles of the ground or nothing.
They just don't see him. He's like 13 feet tall.
Right. So they just...
That's fucking great.
The whole time.
I like the party scene, though, that you're talking about where Janice Richards is sad. And you go to it and you can tell that it's just movie. It's just music overlaid over the sound of the scene that they shot. And everybody is wearing the loudest fucking shoes ever. It's just the sound of shoes clopping with a little bit of music played over it. I don't know.
I did not.
I thought it was abrupt. And after so long of the scene, I was like, I think this is actually deliberate, which I think is quite funny. To leave that in intentionally.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at all. I just noticed her being upset and the Michael hiding in the bushes. That's literally what I noticed of the movie.
Do you know my favorite part of this movie is?
No.
It's his magical arms that are as however long he needs them to be.
Soft.
Yeah.
They look so soft because he grazes her hair.
Yeah, it's just a rubber
pets
glove.
her face and
he goes to that payphone and he picks up the phone and dials a phone call and shit.
And then tries to get the change out of the thing. Is there more change? Let me call her back. No.
Yeah, he winds up getting Denise Richards back, and then they're like doing charades so he can tell her that he is Michael.
Right.
Which is also, again,
ridiculous.
gigantic dinosaur head. Tiny little rubber gloves that are in no way where they would be positioned on a dinosaur. Just doing charades. It's very funny. It's a good physical gag. So you said you had a good recast for Billy, and
I don't know about good.
What was your
recasted it how I felt.
Do you want
during the time of the movie?
Do you want to save these for the end, or do you want to do them as I've got them written?
I don't care how you do it. I just
we'll
think
we'll do it at the end. So
it doesn't matter. I mean, the movie's almost over. There's really not much to it.
No. They get back together.
Back together. She literally rides him in the sunset.
She
on
does.
his back. And her friend Byron's also like,
one of the cops
rode him in the sunset.
Yeah. One of the cops is like, damn, that girl can ride.
Into the sunset okay. So, I mean, cut scene, right? Movie's pretty much over.
Hell yeah.
Until the cops come and the doctors come and they just want to...
There wants to be
they want to put him
shootout.
down. They want to kill him. And that's pretty much right.
They get him put down and the movie ends because Michael is now a brain in a vat and Denise Richards comes in and seduces him every day. And I guess his eyes are hooked up to a video camera.
And that's why Denise Richards has a job.
Yep. So she pours whiskey on his brain. And then she does a striptease, and he gets off. His brain comes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess.
Pretty much that sums that up because
that's the flick. I know what you're thinking.
Right.
Why would anyone make this?
Can I come that way too? No, you can't.
Yeah. You're thinking, why would anyone make this? I don't know, but I'm thrilled that they did. When the cops go to shoot the dinosaur, they unload like 1,000,000 fucking bullets.
Also, right by each other's faces. Yeah. I love that in movies.
There's 3 cops.
What?
Two of them have a 6-shooter. 2 of them have a 6-shooter. One of them has a shotgun, and they shoot 1,000,000 bullets at the fucking garage. And then he
finally falls down. And obviously, in zombie movies, you got to kill the brain. Never killed the brain.
No.
Guess what? Sequel.
Yep.
Zombie movie.
Where Denise Richards has sex with a human brain.
And she puts him in a stuffed animal, and it becomes a zombie. I don't know.
Yeah, that could work. Or a zombie comes in and eats it and gets his memories. Ooh, so now Denise Richards gotta love a zombie.
The whole movie is zombies, and the brain...
Hollywood, email me.
And it's just the brain isn't a zombie yet. Until...
I like it. Until it is.
Until it is. Or the dog eats it and I was like, haha.
Twist that's not a twist. Now it's a dog.
Right.
Red Rocket. Red Rocket for Denise Richards. She'll love it.
No.
In this movie. So my recast is Billy. I had David Duchovny. Because he kind of put off a David Duchovny vibe anyway.
Like X-Files?
Yeah, Fox Mulder.
No, I know.
He can do comedy. He's a little more rigid, but I think he'd be a little more believable than this guy. Although I've never seen David Duchovny be a tough guy. But in 94...
I do like it because he looks just like him. In some of the frames.
Yeah, he'd fit the part in 94.
some of the frames, he looks just like him. That's why I picked Kevin Bacon. Because Kevin Bacon...
Yeah, Kevin Bacon would have
kind
nailed
of
that.
He played those dirtbag teenage guys. Also, I know he would have been probably like 32 or so at that time. But fuck. Kevin, he's fine. You know what I mean? Like he can play a 19-year-old better than that guy could for sure. Yeah. So
I wish the bartender at the party, like the big long party scene, I wish the bartender was Ryan Stiles from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
He literally has like a 20-second clip. It would have been perfect.
It would have been great. Would have been
actually
like, oh my God.
You could have put Ryan and Phil, or what's his name? Ryan and not Phil. Phil Collins.
Colin Mockery.
Oh, not Phil Collins. Yeah, Phil Collins is way off. Colin
Mockery. Phil Collins in there. That'd be quite a cameo. Could you get Phil Collins for Tammy and the T-Rex?
I mean, probably for $100. I mean, yeah.
My next recast is the dancing biker at the party.
I didn't recast that stuff.
I would replace him as Jack Black in Anchorman. How Jack Black's the biker in Anchorman and punts Baxter off the bridge.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
I didn't recast the biker.
What I'm saying is, most of the cast in this, I have no problem with at all. I would use my recast. I would use my recast on fun cameos.
No, I recast to make a funnier movie. Is how I did it.
Okay.
So like. Kevin Bacon isn't funny because Billy's not funny. He's just a douchebag, though. Yeah, so in the whole movie, and you just want to see his face. Literally, you're paying for his face.
Yeah, that's true.
So it would be a little more expensive, but maybe not then because it is in the 90s. I didn't recast no funny characters or anything like that. I did recast Tammy.
Who'd you recast Tammy as?
I recast Tammy as
my mom.
I should have put that, your mom, but I put Jane. What is her name? Jane Krakowski. She's in 30 Rock. She's the really funny.
Oh my God,
ditzy-
the blonde. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And she isn't in much, but she's hysterical.
She's pretty funny though. Yeah.
She's hysterical. She's just really a funny girl. And honestly, she would have been right at her prime 20s.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of
is she about the same age as Denise Richards?
It's very weird. No, because they are much older. It's like the people I recast would have been in their early 20s. Easily would have. They fucking could have played teens. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They put a 22-year-old as a 14-year-old. It's what they do.
Yeah.
It's makeup. So she would have been 20, and I think that would have been fine as a recast, as a 18, 17-year-old girl.
Do you remember?
But she's hysterical, and she cracks me up.
Do you remember the part where the sheriff, the sheriff who's a black guy, they show up after the party, after the T-Rex came and everybody freaked out, and they found 2 people left over there, and it's a guy and a girl. And the cops grab the girl. All right, well, it's the sheriff.
There was like 50 people.
It's the sheriff and the 2 old white cops, and they just find 2 people left at the party, and the cops fucking grab the girl, and they're like, "What happened here, damn it?" And she's like,
No.
And one of the white cops is like, "Just slap her around a little bit. She's hysterical." And then the cop's like, "Yeah, slap her in the mouth a couple of times. She'll come to."
No, I do not remember that.
And then the sheriff's asking her questions. He's like, "No, what? He's like, "Tell me, honey, what happened here? Oh my God, are you okay?" And she's like, blah, blah, blah. He's like, "Yeah, you want me to slap her around for you a little bit, Sheriff?" Like they keep doing the gag.
They just want to keep. Okay.
And then he's like, "No, grab that guy." And they pick the guy up, and they're like, "Yeah, he doesn't know anything."
No, I did not.
there's so, and that's what I mean when I say like there's so many good bits in this that just aren't framed right. If they were,
because
if they were framed or set up differently, like that's a funny bit. The thing with the condom in the drawer full of sharp objects, that's a funny bit.
I think a funny bit is whenever like the T-Rex is like crying in the woods.
Oh my God.
In the distance. Like, come on, okay.
It's so much water. It's like they just stuck a garden hose up through it.
Yeah, it just drips and drips and drips. And it just goes forever.
Oh man, yeah. When that T-Rex cries at the funeral, that is...
At his own funeral?
It's immaculate.
He's literally crying at his own funeral.
Oh yeah.
I don't...
I might recast the T-Rex as the Jurassic Park
Chihuahua?
T-Rex. As the Jurassic Park T-Rex, just because it looks better. But this did come out right on the heels of Jurassic Park.
Oh, did it?
Well, this came out in 94. Jurassic Park came out in 93. How long did you say it took them to make this movie? 4 weeks? 2 weeks?
No. To write the movie. It took
to write the movie.
Weeks.
3 weeks to
3
write
weeks
it.
to write it, and I'm assuming not long. If they made a point to say it took two nights pretty much to do one scene, I can't imagine it.
Yeah.
Only because there's so many people in that scene. That's the only reason why. So I don't know. I think it was just kind of, I don't know.
Well, that's fair because it was kind of, I don't know. I liked it though.
Bizarre. Like it was all just bizarre.
Yeah, it really was. I had a lot of fun with it though. I liked it a lot. This is probably one of the first movies that we watched as a bad movie that I would just watch casually. Like I would watch this again.
By yourself? No. Actually, did we have to rent it?
Oh yeah, we rented that shit.
Yeah, no.
I'm about to buy it on Blu-ray.
You better buy it then if you're trying to watch it again, because renting it, $5 a pop.
So, do you have anything in particular that you would want to plug? Like anything that you've consumed lately that you thought this is good, other people would like this?
I watch cooking shows because I like to cook because I'm badass, and I like to plant shit.
Agreed.
So, if you like to do anything about it, grow some shit, cook some shit.
That's it?
Yeah.
In your motherfucking face. I read a little bit more of The Drunken Botanist by Amy Stewart.
Oh, you did?
It's the section on barley, which actually I thought was really fascinating.
Well, because you can grow barley.
Did you know that barley has the most starch of any grain that is easily converted to sugar.
That's
Easily.
probably
So,
why they make it into beers and things.
All you have to do to make beer is put a bunch of barley in a bucket and
Dump
put
some
water
sugar.
in it.
Oh, you don't even need sugar?
Nope.
Because it already converts it. Okay.
As soon as it gets
Alright.
wet, it starts to convert it to sugar. So
That's really
that's a thing
interesting.
I didn't
Yeah.
know. I homebrewed beer for several years and didn't know that. It's really interesting to hear about something that I was already interested in from the viewpoint of someone else who has a totally different field. Because while I do know things about like fermentation and blah, 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 all this other stuff, Amy Stewart highlights more things about the actual organisms that are at play with it. It's just really interesting. Apart from that, we started watching WandaVision.
We did watch all of it.
I'm enjoying
up
that.
until this
Oh,
last episode.
There's a new episode
I know.
out tonight.
It came out Friday.
Oh, yeah, yesterday.
So we haven't watched one episode, but it is really good. It's interesting because I also saw her do an interview. It was like almost a foreshadow, but she didn't know she was foreshadowing it.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, because she made the comments about it'd be funny if she had twins and then she didn't know and she went crazy. They'll
Gotcha.
never do that in the Marvel universe because it's too dark.
Oh, right.
Bum, bum, bum.
I would argue no such thing.
Not in the
No.
not when grown men and women cry over the movies.
Man,
There's no way that could be too
real
dark.
talk, I'm not much of a movie crier. I cried on The Green Mile. I cried at the end of Jojo Rabbit, and I cried when Thanos accomplished the snap. And that's it as far as cinematically.
I cried
because they
I
built it up
cried.
so well. Like those aren't even
okay. I guess
those
in the snap. I guess the snap because
I was in shock. Like
no,
I was
it wasn't
I
just
was
the
like,
snap.
Oh my
The
God.
part where it was so sad was because Tom Holland
Yeah.
and
Part of it.
fucking Tony Stark, he dies. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
that was it.
Mm.
Fuck this movie. like
It was so
done
good.
with this
It was
shit.
so good. And I knew it was going to happen going
Right.
into it. I knew it was going to happen, but still,
Right.
the gravity of it, the way it's done is really, really good.
So watch all the Marvel movies, catch yourself up from 2020, and be prepared for their releases for 2021.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
I'm
Black
really excited
Widow.
about it.
Anything.
The Black Widow one looks good. I am
Doctor
really,
Strange.
I'm really excited for Spider-Man, all the Spider-Men. They're going to do like a live action Spider-Verse with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Well, if Kevin Feige,
Oh, no.
if Kevin Feige's got his fingers in it, I think it'll turn out just fine. They've got the foresight
They're
of
keeping the cast, too? They're just...
yeah, it's like a Spider-Verse thing. It's going to be like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and then Spider-Man from Other Worlds. What are Spider-Men from Other Worlds? Well, there's fucking Tobey Maguire
Right.
and there's Andrew Garfield,
No.
who are both older.
No.
Well, there's more, but
Miles Morales. You could do that.
Miles
That
Morales.
would be neat to throw that little bits in
that
there.
would be dope.
Mhm.
I think they are going to intro Miles, but I don't think they're going to reveal the casting yet.
No.
Maybe they have, though. I honestly try to avoid spoilers of that kind of stuff because I'm just a big fanboy about the Marvel movies, so I try not to watch anything for them. So I am kind of ignorant going into it, so I can enjoy it like I would as if I were a kid. I generally don't watch a ton of trailers until I do, because I will sit down and watch 30 trailers for 3 hours or however long. I'll watch trailers for hours. Instead of watching a movie, I'll just watch a bunch of trailers. What's the next movie you're excited about?
Me?
Yeah. Is there something you're looking forward to?
No.
I'm
Nope.
really
I'm like,
I'm really stoked about Godzilla versus King Kong.
that's already out, though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it in theaters or something?
No, it came on HBO. That was out on HBO like
Are
a
you
week or
fucking kidding
two
me?
ago. I'm
Hang
not
on.
kidding you.
Hold on. Godzilla versus King Kong trailer. Godzilla King of the Monsters.
No.
Son of Godzilla. I'm not seeing it on here.
What just came out on HBO? Something just came out with HBO as a thing. Like,
Let me try just added. Oh shit, Jason Goes to Hell. Nice.
oh, I guess that's 2021. I thought it came out. I thought it came out on HBO.
Oh, it'll be March 31st it comes out.
I guess Then why were they advertising it?
The trailer's on HBO.
Well, that's
which I
stupid.
also haven't watched yet.
That's stupid.
I don't know. I think it is going to get released on HBO. Like
Maybe
Wonder Woman, like the Wonder Woman movie did. It just
Okay.
came out on HBO. And because HBO purchased Warner Brothers. Anyway, I'm big fan of kaiju flicks. Like I've seen all the black and white Godzilla movies. I love a giant monster tearing apart a city. I just love it. Who do you got? Godzilla or King Kong? I know I could have asked anybody, but I asked you. I knew it was you.
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that phone call for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome.
The Jedi, Bob, we don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, business is booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay.
Get a little sweaty now that I opened that oven. And because I temped the turkey and it's about 20 degrees shy.
Take your shirt off.